On this video, I'm going to talk about flow chunks. And these are chunks of time where you want to be able to get into that lovely flow state. So I'm Lucy, holistic high flow coach and speaker. Flow chunks. Taking your time, your calendar, your diary, and making chunks of time where you're going to really focus in on one thing. You know what it's going to be. It's going to be research. It's going to be writing. It's going to be making a presentation, whatever those things are. You might have 2, you might have 3, you might even have 4 of them within your day. And they're usually between an hour and an hour and a half. Some of them will go on longer, maybe 2 hours, and even up to 4 hours, if you know that that is how long it's going to take and you can actually focus for that long because you've been doing the hour and a half, and the 2 hours, you can then extend that time to 4. You'll possibly need a couple of mini breaks in between, but those can be your flow chunks. Starting your day with a really hefty flow chunk, it might be the thing that you think is going to be the hardest thing to do that day that's on your to-do list, or that's the thing you always want to start with because you're building out a course, because you're writing a book, because you're always having to do presentations. So you're always going to start with that thing and get it done and dusted right at the beginning of the day. When I got started in my business, there was something I didn't particularly want to do, and that was going and doing flyers. I did flyers door to door. And I always did that chunk of time at the beginning of my day. Because I didn't want to have to do it. And so I wanted to get it out the way and done. And I knew I needed to do it to get the business coming in. But actually, now what I understand also was happening there was it actually, with the walking and the action and not really having to think about what I was doing, because it was no brain power to put leaflets through doors, right? What actually was happening was I was getting into flow by walking. So I had lots of thoughts coming up, ideas coming up while I was taking those actions. Plus, I was getting exercise. So, boom, I had 3 things going on. It was a block of time, a chunk of time I was needing to do, and I did it right at the beginning of the day. I was able to get into flow. It was a flow activity. And on top of that, I was building my business and getting exercise. So actually 4 things. Brilliant. So if you can add any of that into your flow chunk, that's even better. But if it's just sitting down and literally going to work on your computer, going to work with your writing, fabulous. And so when you can do that continually, the thing is not to have any distractions, not allow yourself to self-distract either. So if you've got a phone near you, don't have my phone near me, but if you have a phone near you, don't keep checking it. Put it in the other room, switch it off, put it face down. Don't check your emails, turn off your notifications. So no distractions and no self-distractions. Don't go looking at a website because you think, oh gosh, this is getting a bit tricky, or, oh, I've been doing this for an hour, I deserve a little break. If your chunk is an hour and a half, don't stop at an hour. Keep going to the end of that flow chunk. And let other people know not to distract you and not to disturb you while you are in that flow chunk. So listen, I'm going to be working between 8 and 10. I do not want to be disturbed. Do not distract me in any way. But at 10 o'clock, you can knock on my door and you can come and with any problem that you have, whatever challenge you have, whatever you need to talk to me about, that's fine, because that's the time that I'm going to give to you. I'm going to have a 10-minute break at that time. So knowing what your chunks are, what your flow chunks are, getting into that flow cycle of struggle, release, flow, and then at the end, you've got time to relax and to recover, that recovery stage. When you know that for you, and you let other people know that, you're far less likely to get disturbed. You're far less likely to get distracted. You're far more likely to get into that flow state. You're far more likely because of that, to get your work done faster, get better work done, feel better at the end of it, and boom, that's good for everybody. Because when you can get into that flow state and you've dived in and time just disappears, I mean, it just changes, doesn't it? It either goes faster or it goes slower, but you've got the job done anyway, and you enjoy doing that, and you were allowed to do that because there were no distractions and no one trying to disturb you. So that is the importance of those time flow chunks. All right. So there's going to be another video coming up on screen now. So I'm going to see you over there, but definitely put your flow chunks into action in your diary, on your calendar, on your phone, whatever you need to do, and then stick with those. And it's going to make a huge difference to you, to your business, to your life. And if you've liked this video, it really helps if you click the like button. Thank you, and I will see you on the next one.